the 23rd of May 2020, and as I am continuously uploading in these uploads, or sharing in these uploads, I'm experiencing quite a lot of difficulties as a victim of hate crime. As I mentioned in these uploads, there was the incidence of hate crime, or revenge porn actually, in 2005. That damaged my career and my reputation, and lately there's the incident of hate crime that's occurring, and this has occurred since I married and gave birth. These issues that have been caused for me are malicious, vindictive, and collectively orchestrated efforts by individuals, guilty culprits, that have no respect for my constitutional or human rights. These people have intentionally damaged my health, my physical health. Since giving birth, I've gone through the procedures that any pregnant mother would be expected to have practiced, such as blood tests and whatnot. And my results have not been accurate, and the treatment that I was supposed to receive was not provided. As well as the physical malpractice, physical health malpractices that are occurring, there's the issue of my professional opportunities and my earning prospects also being damaged. I have been contacting all relevant agencies for the past 3 years, and for a mother that's experienced very serious violence, very serious victimization, and very serious violations, this has gone beyond a joke. It's very serious what's been perpetrated. There's been a lot of scaremongering, and there's been a lot of bargaining and negotiating by individuals that have damaged a Royal Angelic Light worker. Prior to being married, as I've mentioned in all my uploads, pretty successfully contented, productive adult. As I've mentioned, there wasn't the involvement or intrusions or the false diagnoses that I've referred to in these uploads. But the individuals on this occasion of vendetta have not just concerned themselves with defamation of my character and good name and reputation. They've damaged my family. They've trespassed into my family homes, and they've stolen wealth from me and withheld compensation from me. These people have been very vindictive and sinister, and these people are in the community and in society, and they're being facilitated and protected. In the meantime, all my constitutional rights are being damaged. My health is being damaged, and my wealth has been damaged. As of 2015, I'm a married woman, a mother, as well as an educator. These people have intruded upon my educational career, my professional career as a teacher. How many people would be able to say that their employers were ever contacted by anonymous individuals claiming that an employee had issues that weren't of their concern? These are the tactics that have been employed in damaging my prospects and opportunities. As a teacher that's experienced this kind of violence in society, I'm astonished that the United Nations have ignored all these issues, that individuals that have intruded upon my private life, that have decided to control my marital rights. They've decided to control my marital rights. In 2020, in a democracy, these individuals are intruding in a family and perpetrating children's rights violations and human rights violations then against me. So the consequences to human rights violations is quite serious. Hate crime is serious. These people have no regard for the consequence of their actions, and they have no shame. and they have no remorse for what they owe and for what they stole. So, as a 38-year-old woman, an adult, a peaceful citizen that has experienced domestic violence and that has experienced sexual assault and revenge porn, how is it justifiable that these mentally ill individuals with obvious superiority complexes, thinking that they're able to control the marital rights of an adult woman, how are they able to justify trespassing into other people's homes and basically thieving in broad daylight what doesn't belong to them? How are people claiming not to know of a circumstance in a position to discuss matters that they are seemingly unaware of? Um, this I'm referring to is the pathetic attempt of guilty culprits in their shameful attempt to cover up the damage that they've done. So I've been contacting authorities with regard to a protection order that I'm entitled to. In the meantime, the mentally ill individuals that are demonstrating violations, violence, and victimization are being safeguarded. Um, this matter is ongoing, as you have gathered and noticed, but I find it quite serious, the intrusion upon a family and a person's private marital situation. I think it's very indignant of individuals to damage children's rights and to perpetrate violations against a woman that has experienced physical and medical incompetence. So, as regards the mentality of such individuals, I'm very concerned about what is being facilitated and how is that justifiable. As an adult, as a qualified professional, these circumstances are quite intolerable and unbearable. People not only just deciding to think they're in control of my marital rights, but also thinking that they're going to control my financial circumstances. As a teacher who's experienced vendetta due to revenge porn and sexual assaults, these people that have damaged my financial wealth have also intentionally obstructed my legal entitlements, preventing me from attaining the compensation and the entitlements that I am afforded and that I am basically entitled to. So, this is a very serious situation. The physical issues that I have discussed that are evident throughout the uploads due to the bodily integrity violations of further illegalities that are occurring are all matters I'm contending with on my own. In the meantime, as another aspect of hate crime, there are people that are in the community that are guilty culprits that have suffered from mental illness, that have also been making false complaints and claiming falsehoods. So this is all very serious for me as a light worker and as a teacher and as a humanitarian. It's very serious that I've experienced spiritual violence and that I've experienced bodily integrity violations, and that these people have abused and disrespected my gifts, light, and blessings from my spiritual path and journey and attainment is quite morose, quite morbid, quite disturbing, and basically, from a human rights perspective, intolerable. So, as I've said, I live in public accommodation, and there's been the experiences that I've been describing. Um, I've contacted all relevant agencies without them acknowledging the damage has been done to my health, my well-being, my financial health, my opportunities, my career, my family life, etc., etc., etc. So these people think that it's a game of Russian roulette, that they're able to bargain and negotiate about people's personal lives while damaging their health and damaging their livelihoods. So, from a human rights perspective, this is quite serious, and the information that I'm sharing is the honest facts of the situation while the guilty culprits have been changing their stories since 2016. The authorities that I have requested my protection order from to live safely and contentedly and peacefully in society um, still haven't given any credence to the damages of violence and victimization that I've been experiencing. So, as a law abiding citizen that has been so severely exploited with regards to the bodily integrity violations, um, I'm highly concerned that human rights and civil liberty groups would entertain or facilitate those bargaining with um, children's rights, human rights, and women's rights. As I've mentioned, there's the issue of individuals suffering from imposter syndrome that have damaged my light body, that have perpetrated spiritual violence, that have perpetrated defamation, etc., etc., etc. And they seem to think this is a fame game to gain a bit of notoriety on another person's work and achievements. So the Mental Health Commission and their role in this entire circumstance is also quite relevant. Knowing fully the defamation and disinformation that is occurring, and knowing also about the violence and the wrongdoings and other significant matters that are occurring. So, for the Mental Health Commission to be concerned about what is happening with perpetrators of hate crime is is an interesting perspective, considering that mental health and well-being are very big priorities in a day and age of such a malaise in society. So, health is wealth, and the institution of marriage and the role of marriage and the role of the family, etc., that is being destructed by individuals perpetrating hate crime against Emer McElligott is a human rights issue now. Um, Over 10 years ago, it was the issue of revenge porn, and the fellowship helped through that experience. And now, today, there's the sadistic and sordid behaviour of hate crime and defamation and dangerous misconduct occurring that I'm still awaiting compensation, reparations, and explanations for. So I haven't received compensation for the losses, injuries, and damages done. My legal rights have been obstructed, and I haven't received reparations either for any of the damages that have been perpetrated to my career, reputation, or good name. And the explanations that I haven't received from those about culprits being facilitated, um, explanations about how people have been in a position, as they so think, to bargain and negotiate about my rights, my property rights, my marital rights, my financial rights, children's rights, etc., etc. So these are the issues that are going to be continuously of concern in society until it's able to be rectified or confronted. As they say, if it happens to one person, then it happens to another. But the most sinister aspect of all of this is the damage done to my ancestry, my angelic light body. As a light worker, to have experienced the spiritual violence that's occurring is quite sinister, and the harm that has been caused in a community due to hate crime is very dangerous for any person to have experienced without the support or protection of authorities. So, how the guilty culprits are being protected is absolutely shocking. Why victims have to experience these kind of occurrences of wrongdoings is quite shocking also. So it's 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 a worrying situation. I'm awaiting my protection order from the people that have raped me and assaulted me and violated me and stolen from me and damaged my career, reputation, and good name. I'm also awaiting United Nations to consider these issues a little bit more seriously rather than facilitating those that are playing Russian roulette with people's lives.